They painted me out to be the bad guy. Well, it's the last time you wanna see a bad guy do the rap game like me.
So these are gonna be 7 steps to literally the perfect brow. And this is what I do to make sure that my brows look good. Even when I do other people's brows, I keep these steps in mind so that they do come out right. I think brows is what people like the most. On me, I do, because I feel like when you can have no makeup on, okay? But if your brows are at a 10, you are at a 10. Like, it's facts. It's facts. It's the brows. Brows make the look. Brows make the look. Get started. I'm literally using this type of brush, which most people, when I see their videos on brows, they don't. But I like this type of brush. The eyebrow brush that normally people use, and it's like a diagonal shaped brush, and it goes down like this. I use those for my lip liner. So I like to use this for my brows, you know, because I think that one looks better as like a lip than brows. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys the steps. So I'm going to go ahead and dip into my brow powder, which is from Morphe. So first thing that you need to know when achieving your perfect brow or your brow is you need to know what you want. So I'm looking at my brow, and I can do a natural one, which I think is what I'm going to show you guys how to do a natural brow. So first you want to analyze. So one thing I do know is that although it doesn't look like it, I do have hair right here, but it's just not as much. And because it's not as much, it doesn't look like it's really there. So I want to make sure that it is. So I want to start at the bottom, and then I'm going to basically just outline the bottom of my brow, and that's it. So as easy as that. So that's literally my first step. And also remember, when you're doing this, don't worry about mess. One tip that I'm going to tell you guys about is cleaning up is an option. It always is. Don't worry about if it's perfect. Just draw. Literally just draw, because it doesn't even matter. We will fix it. The next step is, you might be thinking, okay, so I did this to the bottom, so do I need to do that to the top? I personally do not. I like to take it from the middle and then make my tail before I even go anywhere towards the front. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to fill that in. And that's the next step, is literally just filling in that brow. So we've already analyzed the brow. We end up underlining the bottom. And then we went from the half point of the brow to the tail, and then we filled that in. So next thing you want to do is you want to, of course, go towards the front. But what I like to do is like just slowly do it, okay? Just slowly do it as such. Get very light-handed when you go towards the front, because the front, although like I said, we're going to use concealer, we're going to use a beauty blender to try to clean everything up, but we want to make sure that it is still very lightly handed. You use a very light hand because, I mean, you don't want it to look too crazy. So you still can clean anything up, but you still don't want to look too crazy. Then I start going from like that middle again, and I like to go out. I'm not gonna lie, the pressure feels on right now. And I think it feels on because it's like, oh my god, like I'm filming my brows, like it's not really something I actually like to film. So like my last video, I think I just focused on the eyes, and like my first one, it was fast forward, so I didn't have to explain anything. So yeah, this is what it looks like so far. So this right now, some people might be like, oh my god, that's it, that's all I need to know. But it does give, you can make it better. You can also make the brow bigger, thicker. In my case, I prefer thicker brows than this. This is my natural brow shape, so this is me adding color to my brows, instead of it being so light like this and the hair is not being you know, as there. So if I want to, which I normally do, I actually end up taking this and taking it up, which I'm not going to do now. I'm going to actually go ahead and finish this brow, and then I'll show you guys how we're going to clean it up. I am back, and I hope this looks fine. This lighting is going in and out. It's crazy. just from watching my previous one. So I ended up doing my other brow, and you know, I was like, maybe the pressure was good. So this is what I mean by they don't have to be literally twins. So I want to stop here because I started to do the next step without even like videoing it. You want to make sure from the middle, not the middle, but like from the inner brow where you kind of stopped, you can bring it more out. So I actually prefer to, I'm gonna get a mirror. Okay, so what I mean by that is like taking this, and I like to bring it further out because I honestly, like I said, like really thick brows, and not only just like this way but also like this way. So I don't want to have a huge gap between my nose. Some people don't like that because they're like, okay, I don't want to look like I got a unibrow. I'm okay with looking like I got a unibrow. So I'm just going to use concealer again. And honestly, the best thing to do is if you don't have concealer, use foundation. You can do this. The best concealer is a thick one, kind of like the Tarte Shade Tape, but like I need to go get another one. So, by the way, what I'm doing, I just started doing stuff, is I'm about to clean the brow. So the concealing of it is kind of like cutting your brow or waxing it. It's going to give it a very clean look. And this is why if I say you mess up while you're trying to put your brows on, like, it's okay, because this is what concealer is for, because then you don't got to do that. So I'm gonna go underneath, and I'm just going to carefully shape my brows how I would want to. This is the way to like perfectly conceal your brows. And any hairs that you've had, I think I had like a couple, it just goes away. And the more thick the concealer, so I would recommend again the Tarte Shape Tape, it will literally like act as like covering it, like thickness, and it will just look flawless, and you don't even have to worry. I don't even want to do the top, y'all, but I don't need to do the top. Like, I'm just like looking at it like I don't need to, but I mean I will for y'all. I'm like, these brows look pretty good, so I'm like, I don't really want to mess with it, but we will. So you can again just take it and just go shoop and do it that way. I like to kind of like do this. And it's almost like I am plucking it, even though I'm not. I'm just adding concealer. So we're gonna do the same thing over here. So that is me doing the top. So the next step to this, again, when I told you guys when you want to take it from the inside and then in, this is one of my favorite steps because this is how your brows look literally flawless. So I'm just gonna take concealer and I'm just gonna place that straight down the middle. And once I do that, sometimes it does make it look, you can kind of tell like where it's not completely like straight at the bottom here. So I like to clean that up. So I just kind of take it and do that. Just like that. So then I'm going to take a beauty blender. This one's actually already damp because I've done my face already minus, I only put concealer and foundation on, so I haven't really done my face, but the base is done. So beating the beauty blender in the middle, just like that, just not, you know, not like, oh God, but just naturally, it will create a more like natural effect, and it'll give it, like, you know how people always say, well, how do you make the light in the middle? How do you do the light? Some people do use two different kinds of powder. I just use a beauty blender, and the beauty blender will honestly just get rid of that. And you can do it as many times as you want. So right now, this is my finished brow, and I think it looks literally like perfect. Again, if you want to, you can make the brows bigger. I was actually going to, but I'm not going to touch. It looks good. There's nothing, you know, else I really need to do to them. So just remember that. Set your brows if you feel like you want to. I set my whole face with a setting spray, and this is a powder, so it works with it as well. So make sure you subscribe. Please like and subscribe, like and subscribe, and send it to your friends, especially if they're like, I can't do brows. Hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.